At the start of the 20th century, thousands of Russians, brimming with values and ideology, immigrated to Israel and established kibbutzim and moshavim in outlying areas. They were pioneers, the driving force behind the building of the country and the determination of its borders. The waves of immigration and settlement in rural areas have never ceased. Today, one has yet another opportunity to live that kind of life of self-fulfillment and significance in a warm and welcoming atmosphere. It is early morning, the start of a typical Israeli day full of activity. Dodo is on his way to school at the neighboring kibbutz. His mother, Sophia, a doctor, is on her way to Safed to start her 24-hour shift at the Sif hospital. Her mother will stay and take care of the home and cook. Sophia came to Israel only 6 years ago and joined Kibbutz Misgav Am as part of the program known as First Home in the Homeland. She had many questions about what lay ahead.
We went to a meeting organized by the Jewish Agency. I knew that I had to learn the language and study for the exams, the courses, and all that with my son who was 3 months old. And I asked, when will they take the child to kindergarten? I was told, no problem. They will take him at any age, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. They immediately asked me, are you a doctor by profession? I said I was, and they said, we have a special program for you.
On her first try, she failed the exams for adaptation to medicine in Israel, but she didn't give up. The First Home in the Homeland program enabled her to raise her son, study Hebrew, and prepare for the exams without distraction.
I felt that I had the help of the program First Home in the Homeland. With the help of that program and the people, I finally succeeded after 6 months.
Sophia's sense of satisfaction is immense, a real sense of achievement. Last night, she completed a particularly arduous shift at the hospital.
Once you're in the system, everything goes smoothly. You advance whether you want to or not. You need to, you have to advance. That's all. You have no other way, you have no other track and no choice.
But the high point for her is her son Dodo. It is for his sake that she set up home here, and he is fast turning into a typical Israeli tzabar.
I made Aliyah for my son. I see my son's progress, how he lives his life, how easy his life is. He is becoming a perfect person. Happy, joyful. That's what I need. That makes me happy.
The green spaces, the quality of life, tell the success story of the kibbutzim in Israel. Unlike communism, here the ethos of the Israeli kibbutznik flourished and became a model of roots and values. The story of Tatiana and Alex Marvin's integration can affectionately be called Israeli chutzpah. It was only 4 years ago that they came to Kibbutz Gonen on the same program. They are now building their own permanent home.
This will be our plot of land. I want to make a tiny piece of paradise here for my family.
The children flourished in the kibbutz education system, picking up the language and acquiring many friends.
I like to go to my friends and to the children's quarters.
For Tatiana and Alex, this was a marvelous opportunity to roll up their sleeves and get involved in the management and maintenance of the Nofei Gonen guest house.
That's our lucky story. Both Kibbutz Gonen itself and our place of work. It's as if we are immersed in honey.
The First Home in the Homeland program offers a smooth absorption into Israel. 4 years in Gonen through the program has brought the couple even closer together.
We are closer to each other, like glue. We're like this now. We don't argue, we don't have any of that. Like Bia we did. We argued almost every day, but not here. I hope it will always be like this.
Evening falls rapidly over Haifa Bay. On the slopes of the Carmel, we find the delightful little photography shop belonging to Yelena and Klim Belinsky. It is a gathering place for fans of celluloid photography and is also an expression of Yelena and Klim's love for each other.
This place is our shop that we opened in Haifa. A photography shop. Besides being a shop, it's a bit like a club. Because there are lots of people from Russia who love to come here and tell stories. There are people whose wedding photos we did and who are now marrying off their grandchildren. So half our life is here. We have a lot of clients. We have old clients and lots of new ones who come, Israelis and Russians. And we love it. It's like home. This is Kibbutz Shamir during the war.
Even the pictures of the Lebanon War remind them of why they love Israel and how right the family was to decide to come to Israel to Kibbutz Shamir through the program. They had many concerns, such as the fact that their son Yura was 13 and found it hard to cope with the language and the mentality.
We came specially for the children. We were happy at the Ulpan. We had friends, but I could see that Yura was alone and very sad. Nobody spoke to me. They even laughed at me. The problem was that I couldn't speak, and that's why they laughed at me. I learned Hebrew quite quickly. Step by step, it worked out. And suddenly it was the holidays, and Yura was in a concert. He played guitar and sang. And after that holiday, he doesn't remember, but I remember clearly all the children sat there yelling out his name.
Yura, Yura.
But their absorption was quick and easy. After about 3 years, Yelena and Klim even felt confident enough to open their own business.
We wanted to live on the kibbutz, but we found work here. We couldn't find a place for the shop near the kibbutz. We are in Haifa now. This is our second home. But for us, our first home in the homeland is still Kibbutz Shamir.
At their home on the Carmel, overlooking Haifa port, the Belinskys experience yet another element of the Israeli experience. Yura receives his first army call-up notice.
Like Mom and Dad, I'm also emotional about it. But it's okay. All the kids, all my friends from class, the girls in the class, they're all going to the army, and that's fine with me. This is our first home, our first evening in the country.
6 years after their arrival with the first home in the Homeland program, the Belinsky family is setting up more homes in Israel. Gregory, the older son, has taken a bride and brought her to Israel. Now their daughter Anastasia is also preparing a home of her own.
There in Kibbutz Shamir, my parents and I, we felt peacefulness and a full life.
After the children leave, Yelena and Klim will stay on in Haifa. But they are still debating whether to return to their home on Kibbutz Shamir.
Help yourself. Grapes from the kibbutz. That's our kibbutz. Kibbutz Shamir.
When they came to the kibbutz, Klim planted a vine, a kind of covenant with the soil in the yard of his first home. But they left behind a lot more than just the vine they planted. They left behind that first romantic feeling of their first home in Israel, a home to which they owe the success of their family's absorption into Israel.
Today I am happier because now the whole family is together. The children are grown up and each has his own path to follow. Now we have 2 weddings and we are very happy because we are giving a way of life to each child. Now I'm very happy. I'm much happier than I was 10 years ago. Now I'm calmer and I can do what I want to do. I am now so sure of my life and so sure of my son's life, his progress, and mine too. I know that everything is going as I want it to.